What is going on, everyone? And today we are here for week 12 of the Fanatec Cup Global Mazda Rookie Series. This week it is the final week and we are at Okayama International Circuit on the full course layout. It should be quite an interesting week of racing. The racing here is usually pretty good. So obviously it's a free circuit, so a lot of people spend a lot of time here when you first start your iRacing careers. There is some technical sections, but there's also some sort of very focusing on your exit speed sections as well. So looking forward to getting into this with you today. I really want to say thank you to everybody that's tuned into these guides over the last 12 weeks. I hope that you guys have got lots out of them. I'm looking forward to updating and changing a few things going into Season 1 of 2024. If you haven't already, guys, please hit that subscribe button, turn on them notifications, help us grow this channel a little bit bigger so we can help more people with their racing. And that's pretty much it, guys. So I've been getting quite a few questions recently about the data over the screen, so I just wanted to talk to you guys about that. So unfortunately, with the way that my third-party overlays work, they don't actually replay the video, like the data over the videos that we rewatch in iRacing, and I film my walkthrough part of it. So, and the only other way I could do it is by keeping the iRacing UI up in the sim while we're doing it, and I just think it looks a little bit unprofessional, and it's not good for videos if you've got all this other stuff sort of floating around. It takes away from what I'm actually trying to talk and show you guys. So we won't be doing that. I'm hoping that in the future we're able to find a way to bring the data back in over the top of the overlays. Until then, guys, make sure you check out the Garage 61 coaching group below. You can then go and just overlay your data into that. If you guys need any assistance with that, make sure you reach out to us. Let us know in the comments. I'm happy to do a video on how to actually go and compare data and look into it. And that's pretty much it, guys. So let's get into it. Week 12 at Okayama International Circuit full course in the Global Mazda MX-5. Alright, guys, so now we're going to break down the lap. So as we're coming down into turn 1, you want to be as close to the left-hand side as possible. We're just going to start to slow it down now. We're looking for the blue pit cone. Right there, you'll see the car start to dive forward. That's our brake marker into turn 1. So it's probably about 2.5 meters before the blue cone. So we're braking just before it. Nice big brake pressure in. You'll see as I turn in just sort of like I start to come off the white line pretty quickly, but you can see I'm already chasing a little bit of oversteer here. I start to really turn at the corner closer to the flag marshal hut on the left-hand side here. You'll see I start to really rotate the car in, but as you can see, I'm not actually using a lot of wheel until I get to the apex. So pre-apex, I'm rotating the car on the brake, so the car is starting to rotate with the brake pressure, and then I'm just sort of guiding the car through the corner with the steering angle. So, and then you'll see once I get in line with the orange cube again, start to pick the throttle up, the car's going to come off the curb. We're going to slide right out to the outside curb, use all that circuit, then start heading diagonal straight across to the other side of the track. You'll see I'm already starting to turn the car back at the corner. So you'll see there's that little bit of bitumen, and then the curb starts about another metre further on. So you want to be somewhere in that region where you start to turn the car back at the corner. I turn quite early, and I always have, but you need to be turning at the corner early here to really carry the momentum out of the corner. You'll see I probably turned in slightly early on this lap, but I use a lot of curb on the inside, same as the Ferrari guide this week. Once we get in line with the tree, start to push off the corner, let the car run right out to the edge of the road. We're going to just fast forward it up through here, just getting close to the curbs, and then you want to set yourself up on the left-hand side. We're going to start to slow the car down. You're braking just before the 50-metre board, so right at this point here. So you're probably looking at about 55, 57 metres in the braking zone here. I kind of use the reference of how the grass becomes like more sandy as we get closer to the corner. That's where I really start to brake, or like I said, just use the 50-metre board and just bring it back a couple of metres and you'll be sweet. All right, rolling into the corner. You'll see I sort of, same again as turn one, I'm off the line quite early, and I sort of not diagonal the car, but I start to get the car to rotate in, and then a straight line diagonal from that point there, and I'm using the brake again here to really help pivot the car on initial rotation, as you'll see here. I'm not putting very much wheel until this point here into it. By that point, the car's already starting to pivot from the brake pressure that I've put into the pedal. Then I'm on the pedal, on the steering wheel, nice amount of steering lock here. Same again here once we start to get to this point where we're just sort of starting to line up with the orange cube that's on the tyre wall. You can see I'm just going to start to come off the curb. Then I come back closer to the curb, but I still am like carrying more speed, so I never actually get fully back to the curb. I want to hug it tight 3/4 the way up, and then you'll see I start to use the flag marshal hut to really drive the car off the corner. Carry the speed right out to the edge of the road. Up through the gears you go. Right, when you get down here, you want to be braking and getting the car back to first gear. So what we'll do is we'll start to slow it down so we blow past the 100-metre board. And you're braking at about 65, 70 metres. So about this point here is where you're braking. You could probably squeeze it another 3 to 5 meters maybe, but I like to really focus on the drive out of the corner rather than driving it deeper into the corner. I just feel like if I drive it a lot deeper, the rear of the car, I'm sort of chasing the whole way through the entry to middle of the corner, and then I'm having to really sort of square the car up before I can punch on the throttle. When I brake just slightly earlier, I'm actually able to sort of roll that throttle on a bit quicker mid-corner and actually carry the speed through the exit of the corner. So you'll see here, nice big brake pressure. I try and keep the car nice and straight along the white line until we get to about this point here. This is where I start to drift off of the white line. You'll see I'm still fighting a little bit of oversteer in the car as we're coming in. I sort of drive past the curb, and same again here. I want to get to the apex at mid-corner, hug that curb, a little bit of extra curb there. Once I come off, I want to start, once I'm in line with the second like pit buildings, that's when I start to open the steering ever so slightly, let the car track, but I want to stay to the right as much as possible. Once we get to this point here, so you'll see the dead patch of grass again, that's where we start to turn the car in at the corner. You'll see you fight a lot of understeer through this part here. Like, as you can see, I've got quite a lot of steering lock on and the car still wants to go quite straight. So coming through this part, use all the curb. Same again here. Once you get on the curb, you turn the car in at the corner. You'll see the car over rotates on initial. So I have to like catch it a little bit and then square it back up and really focus on the drive out of the corner. Same again here. Quite a lot of understeer coming through this part of the corner. Use all the curb on the exit. and then run it down to the 50-meter board at the next corner. You'll see I drive past the 50 metre and then I brake. So I'm braking at probably about 45 metres for this corner. It is a very deep braking zone. I'm also going back to first gear. So I'm actually over-rotating the car. And you'll see why I'm doing this in a second. So you'll see, same again here. I start to turn in very early here. And I want to get as much of the car up on the curb. You'll see I'm fighting a lot of oversteer. I probably lost about half a tenth in that little oversteer moment through this part of the corner, but you'll see I'm nice and close to the curb and first gear, and I'm able to apply a heap of throttle coming out of this corner to the next corner. You'll see I don't go back out to the left. I stay to the right. I stay tight. I use a lot of curb on the inside to help rotate the car around the corner. Then you're looking for that apex on the exit. As you can see, I just missed it. I picked the throttle up probably about half a tenth too early. The car pushed off the curb ever so slightly. Still was able to get the car rotated, but probably just cost us that little bit of time here. You want to stay to the left-hand side coming out of the hairpin. You want to turn in extremely early here. So you'll see I actually cut over the back of the curb and I put my wheel between the yellow line and the back of the curb. So it bounces the car, but the car actually lands quite nicely through there, so you're really able to get that good drive. You'll see I slide the car right out to the edge of the road. Same again here, nice big brake pressure. Now I'm braking just as the sand ends and the grass begins on the outside here. So it's a bit of a late line, and you'll see here on this lap where I turn in really aggressively, and I actually get a huge kick of oversteer, and I lose about 2.5 tenths on the exit here. So you'll see here, I turn in at this point here where the grass sort of comes back to life. Use a lot of curb, but see how much brake I actually put into the car to get it to rotate, and then the car actually wanted to over-rotate on me really quick, so I had to feed it steering angle the other way to try and get the car to catch. You'll see, use all the curb on the inside, which is great, but then that's this snap of oversteer where I practically go back on myself trying to fight it. If I was to get that oversteer and then carry it all the way out to the curb, it would have been a really nice line. Yes, I would have lost a little bit of speed with braking of traction, but I would have carried it. But because I had the two massive dips at it mid-corner, it cost me a little bit of extra time there. Get the car straight, fire it off the back of the curb, back onto the circuit, and there you go, guys. That is your walkthrough track guide of Okayama International Circuit on the full course for the last week of the Global Mazda Fanatec Cup. I hope these guides have helped you this season. Good luck for the last week of racing, and we look forward to hopefully seeing you for season 1 of 2024 and what we got planned for you guys. We'll see you then.